Breaking free, the butterfly revolution in corporate America. Welcome to a paradigm shifting conversation that will challenge everything you thought you knew about success, especially for black women in the corporate world. Today, we're diving deep into the revolutionary insights of Mary Davis, a visionary leader who's redefining what it means to thrive in business and in life. Mary isn't just a successful executive. She's a beacon of hope and a catalyst for change, inspiring countless women to embrace their authentic selves and soar to unprecedented heights. Her wisdom isn't just thought-provoking, it's transformative. So prepare yourselves, because what you're about to hear might just change the trajectory of your career and your life. The only way to success is to climb the corporate ladder, fight for a seat at their table, and conform to be like them. How many times have we heard this mantra? How many of us have internalized this belief, accepting it as the unquestionable truth of professional advancement? Well, I'm here to tell you that this idea isn't just outdated, it's fundamentally flawed and potentially damaging to our spirits and our potential. Mary Davis challenges this notion head on with a radical proposition. What if we've been looking at success all wrong? What if, instead of trying to fit into a system that wasn't designed for us, we recognize that we already possess everything we need to soar? Imagine, for a moment, a butterfly. From the instant it's born as a caterpillar, it contains within itself all the elements necessary to become a magnificent flying creature. It doesn't need to imitate birds or beg for wings. The potential for flight is inherent in its very being. Mary argues that we, especially black women in the corporate world, are just like that butterfly. We have within us right now everything we need to achieve greatness. Now, I can hear the skeptics already, but the system isn't designed for us. That we have to play by their rules to get ahead. And to that, I say, who decided these rules? Who said that success has to look like fighting for scraps at someone else's table? Let's break this down. The common belief is that success for black women means conforming to established systems, being content with incremental progress, and celebrating the mere act of breaking glass ceilings. But Mary Davis boldly states that this is too small a dream for the likes of us. Consider the great Muhammad Ali. Before he was the champion, we all know, he declared, "I am the greatest." The world laughed. They called him arrogant, delusional. But Ali knew something fundamental about success and greatness. He understood that to achieve greatness, you must first see it within yourself. This is the core of Mary's message. We are divinely created for greatness. We are just getting our wings. We were made to fly. But here's the kicker. We don't need anyone's permission to spread those wings. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The corporate world wasn't built with black women in mind. That's not a controversial statement. It's a historical fact. But here's where Mary's perspective becomes truly revolutionary. Instead of seeing this as a disadvantage, what if we saw it as an opportunity? Think about it. When you're not bound by the traditional rules of success, when you're not trying to fit into a mold that wasn't made for you, you have the freedom to redefine what success looks like. You have the power to create your own table, set your own rules, and fly by your own standards. But let's be clear, this isn't about isolation or separation. It's about recognizing your inherent value and bringing that to every table you sit at, whether it's one you've been invited to or one you've built yourself. Mary's approach reminds me of the legendary Deion Sanders. Sanders didn't just play football, he transformed it. He brought a level of confidence and disruption that changed the game forever. He didn't wait for the NFL to decide he was great. He knew it and played like it from day one. Or consider Kerry Washington in her role as Olivia Pope. Pope didn't just navigate the world of politics, she mastered it. She didn't ask for permission to be powerful, she simply was. And with her masterful strategy, she got things done. This is the kind of energy Mary Davis is calling us to embody. It's not about asking for a seat at the table. It's about walking into the room knowing you're the most valuable person there. It's about understanding that your unique perspective, your experiences, your very essence as a black woman in corporate America is your superpower. Now, let me share with you a story that perfectly illustrates this principle. Mary told me about Sarah, a brilliant black woman working in tech. Sarah had always played by the rules, dimming her light to fit in. She was successful by conventional standards, but she felt unfulfilled and undervalued. One day, inspired by Mary's teachings, Sarah decided to embrace her authenticity fully. She started speaking up more in meetings, offering innovative solutions that drew from her unique perspective. She stopped straightening her hair and wore it natural to work. She even initiated a diversity task force, highlighting how increased representation could drive innovation and profits. Initially, there was pushback. Some colleagues were uncomfortable with this new assertive Sarah, but she stood her ground, confident in her value. And you know what? Within a year, Sarah's initiatives had led to a 30% increase in diverse hires and a 20% boost in company profits. She was promoted to a leadership position, not because she conformed, but because she dared to be different. This story isn't unique. Mary has countless examples of women who have thrived, not by fitting in, but by standing out. And that's the essence of the butterfly revolution. Now, I can already hear the skeptics. That sounds great in theory, but how does it work in practice? Fair question. Let's break it down. First, it starts with a mindset shift. Stop seeing yourself as an outsider trying to get in. You're not an imposter. You're not lucky to be there. You belong. More than that, you're essential. Your diverse perspective, your unique experiences, they're not handicaps, they're your secret weapons. Consider the story of Jasmine, a black woman in finance. She was always the only one who looked like her in the room. For years, she tried to blend in, to speak and act like her white male colleagues, but she was passed over for promotions and her ideas were often dismissed. Then Jasmine had an epiphany. She realized that her background growing up in a diverse working class neighborhood gave her insights her colleagues lacked. She started to speak up about how certain financial products could be tailored to underserved communities. Her proposals were met with skepticism at first, but when implemented, they opened up a whole new market for her firm. Jasmine's unique perspective, once embraced, became her greatest asset. Second, redefine success on your own terms. If the traditional corporate ladder doesn't align with your values or your vision for your life, don't climb it. Build your own ladder. Create your own metrics for success. Maybe success for you isn't a corner office. Maybe it's starting your own business or mentoring the next generation of black female leaders or revolutionizing your industry from the inside out. Take Maria, for example. She was on track to become a partner at a prestigious law firm, but she felt unfulfilled knowing that her true passion was in education and community development. Against the advice of many, Maria left her high paying job to start a nonprofit focused on providing legal education to underserved communities. It wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt and financial struggle, but Maria persevered, driven by her passion and her redefined version of success. Today, her organization has helped thousands of people understand their legal rights and has been instrumental in pushing for policy changes. Maria may not have the corner office, but she has something far more valuable: purpose and impact. Third, embrace your authenticity. The old playbook says you need to code switch to downplay your blackness to fit in to get ahead. Mary Davis says that's nonsense. Your authenticity, your full self, is your greatest asset. Bring all of who you are to everything you do. That's not just good for you, it's good for business. Studies have shown time and again that diverse teams, diverse perspectives lead to better outcomes, more innovation, and higher profits. Let me tell you about Tanya, a marketing executive who struggled with this very issue. For years, she straightened her hair, modulated her voice, and avoided any mention of her cultural background at work. She was successful, but she felt like she was living a double life. Inspired by Mary's teachings, Tanya decided to bring her whole self to work. She wore her hair in braids, spoke in her natural cadence, and started incorporating elements of her Caribbean heritage into her marketing strategies. The result? Her campaigns resonated with a broader audience, tapping into markets her company had previously struggled to reach. Tanya's authenticity didn't just make her happier, it made her more valuable to her company. Fourth, build your own support systems. If the existing networks don't serve you, create your own. Mentor other black women. Seek out allies. Create spaces where you can be your full self and support others in doing the same. This principle is beautifully illustrated by the story of Kimberly, a black woman in academia. Feeling isolated in her department, Kimberly started a monthly dinner group for women of color in STEM fields across several universities. What began as a small gathering for mutual support has grown into a powerful network that has facilitated research collaborations, mentorship opportunities, and even led to the creation of a scholarship fund for young women of color pursuing STEM careers. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, recognize that your success isn't just about you. When you succeed on your own terms, when you fly by your own rules, you're not just advancing your own career, you're changing the game for every black woman who comes after you. You're rewriting the rules of success for an entire generation. Now, I know this isn't easy. The system is entrenched. The old beliefs are deeply rooted. But remember, every great change in history started with someone daring to challenge the status quo. Rosa Parks didn't wait for permission to sit at the front of the bus. She sat down and changed the world. Madam C.J. Walker didn't wait for the beauty industry to cater to black women. She built her own empire and became America's first female self-made millionaire. You have that same power within you. You are the butterfly, born with everything you need to fly. The question is, are you ready to spread your wings? Imagine a world where every black woman in corporate America embraced this mindset. Imagine the innovation, the creativity, the sheer force of brilliance that would be unleashed. Imagine the doors that would open, not just for us, but for every underrepresented group in the workplace. This isn't just about individual success. This is about transforming the very nature of corporate America. It's about creating a business world that doesn't just tolerate diversity, but thrives on it. A world where different perspectives aren't just included, but sought after and valued. And here's the beautiful thing. When we succeed this way, when we fly by our own rules, we don't just rise ourselves. We lift up entire communities with us. We create new opportunities, new pathways to success for those who come after us. So, as we conclude this talk, I want to leave you with a challenge inspired by the wisdom of Mary Davis, the confidence of Muhammad Ali, the disruption of Deion Sanders, and the strategic brilliance of Olivia Pope. I challenge you to look in the mirror tonight and say these words: I am divinely created for greatness. I am just getting my wings. I was made to fly. Say it again, believe it, internalize it, and then tomorrow, I want you to go out into the world and act like it's true, because it is. Don't wait for permission to be great. Don't wait for someone to offer you a seat at their table. Recognize that you are the table. You are the opportunity. You are the revolution that corporate America has been waiting for, whether they know it or not. You are not here to fit in. You are here to stand out, to rise up, to fly. But this isn't just about words, it's about action. So here's my call to you. First, identify one area in your professional life where you've been dimming your light. Maybe it's an idea you've been hesitant to share, a project you've been afraid to propose, or an aspect of your identity you've been hiding. This week, I want you to shine brightly in that area. Speak up, stand out, be unapologetically you. Second, reach out to another black woman in your field, offer mentorship, seek collaboration, or simply share your experiences. Start building that network of support that will lift all of us higher. Third, challenge the status quo in your workplace. Question a policy that doesn't serve diversity. Propose a new initiative that could drive innovation through inclusion. Be the change you want to see. Remember, every time you embrace your authentic self, every time you refuse to shrink to fit someone else's expectations, you're not just changing your own trajectory. You're changing the game for every black woman who will come after you. You were born to fly. Now go out there and soar. The sky isn't the limit, it's only the beginning. Thank you.